This game is the culmination of a lot of hard work behind the scenes, so it only makes sense that we meet the man who did a lot of that work behind the scenes, Mr. Reggie Stevens. Ellie, I know you had a chance to talk to him last week. We get a chance to meet him through this interview.
Yeah, I got a chance to interview Reggie last week on a more personal level, and I can't wait for everybody to see the man behind the game. So then let's start with the basics. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Shreveport, Louisiana. I moved to Santa Cruz, California in 1990 and attended Santa Cruz High School, played 3 sports there, basketball, football, and track. And then I went to Cabrillo Junior College. The first year I gray-shirted, and then I played 2 years after that. Played really well there, and that earned me a full-ride scholarship to Rutgers University on the East Coast in New Jersey.
You mentioned you played college football. How was that experience?
My experience in college football was a lot of ups and downs. I got a full-ride scholarship out of Cabrillo Junior College. Steve Cox was my coach.
Turning point was a 98-yard punt return by Reg, and then kind of juked one kid out, made another kid miss, went down the sideline, picked up about 4 great blocks. One of them from Iamadajo, and then he was in the end zone, and it kind of just turned the tide.
Helped me get that scholarship to Rutgers University, where Terry Shea was my coach there, that came from Cal at the time, and then he got the job there. The experience there, moving from Santa Cruz to New Jersey, was not as hard for me because I came from Louisiana to Santa Cruz. But when I got to New Jersey, you know, the team was struggling. We wasn't very good, and I wanted to come in and, you know, ignite some leadership as a junior college player. And I wasn't able to do that my first year, but my senior year was amazing. At one point, I led the nation in defensive scores. I also ran a 94-yard kickoff return back against the Miami Hurricanes at Miami.
Now midfield, and the race is on. He's going to break this one at the 20, 10. Touchdown for the Scarlet Knights. Reggie Stevens, number 9, 94 yards with the opening kickoff, and just like that, a shock for Miami.
It was the second time that Miami gave up a kickoff return. The other person that actually had the return was Rocket Ishmael at the time. And then I also, from my play, made all Big East, and then I was able to play in the East-West Shrine game that was hosted at Stanford. They used to play the East-West Shrine game at Stanford. I also got an interception there, and I was playing for the East and not the West. So a lot of the people from Santa Cruz, they came over to watch the game, and that was one of the highlights of my career in playing college, just being able to play in one of the top all-star games and having people from Santa Cruz that watched me in high school and junior college come over to watch me play at Stanford University. And that is how I was able to get myself to the New York Giants, along with the help of Raymond Ferris, my all-time trainer, and he's a Hall of Fame trainer. He's Jerry Rice's only trainer, and he helped me when I got out of college to get to the NFL. But I could kind of put it into a point of this is how I started Sunday sessions.
With Jerry Rice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trained together at Stanford. So that's how Sunday sessions, all the stuff that I teach you is all the stuff that Raymond Ferris, the trainer, that trained Jerry Rice, and I was there as a rookie. And that's how, when I got to training camp, that's why I was able to make the team, because I had been training against Jerry Rice and a guy by the name of Monty Toomer. You know, I'm going against J.J. Stokes. So those 3 receivers I went against every single day to prepare me to get into the NFL. So all the work, all the running, the hills, all the stuff, that kind of got a part of Sunday sessions, me training. Because what I do here is what all the NFL guys that are coming out of college or currently in the NFL, we would do it at Stanford University.
Paddle 3. Paddle 1.
And it's good that we can come out here and get this work. Y'all know what this is designed for. It's designed for you. It's not designed for me.
Keep getting us today. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, let's push, boy. Come on. Yeah.
So I'd get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, drive 17, get over to Stanford, get out, put on my cleats, stretch, and then get ready to roll. And I was the only defensive back over there too, which made it very, very hard because I took all the reps against Jerry, JJ, Amani Toomer, Damon Dunn, Sean Dawkins, rest in peace. So there was a lot of big-time players that were already in the NFL when I was coming out as a rookie. Yeah. So you know what I mean? So my confidence, I had to get it right now. So now I do Sunday sessions, and my job is to help get kids better for high school, get them to college. That's where I got the experience from. You know, it's a lot of times when people do things in life, they've done it before, you know, themselves. So now that's what I bring to the table for Sunday sessions for the girls and the boys. Learning a lot of the stuff from Raymond Ferris and a guy by the name of Charlie Parker.
And it's just work that we come out here and we do.
I'm here. That's why she's on the kick set.
But I love showing up on Sundays and working with y'all. Y'all understand? The one thing that I want is hustle. Quick. Back up. Get him under control. Get him under control. Good. That's a good one. That's a good rep. But you got to sprint out of there.
Working every day, every Sunday for free. I get to be here, get to work. It's perfect.
But at the end of the day, when we're here, we're all together because at the end of the day, we're trying to get everybody out of here. Y'all understand how hard it is to get out of Santa Cruz County? So we got to do everything and some more so we can get our kids out of here to the next level, whether it's D1, D2, D3, NAIA, whatever the situation is. That's what I represent. That's why I'm here.
How did you feel training with like Jerry Rice and all these big people, and you were like the only?
Well, the first time when I went against Jerry Rice, I was like, can I touch him? and Raymond Ferris was like, hey, man. And then Jerry said something to me because I'm like, first of all, it's Jerry Rice. I don't want to be the person that got tangled up with him and hurt him at practice. You know what I mean? And I learned very, very quickly, can't do that. You got to go out there. And that's where I had to get this mentality. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Jerry Rice. It doesn't matter who it is. I got to come every day and I got to work. And eventually I got better. He made me better. I made him better. Because at that time, like I said, I was the only defensive back in the workouts. So like how I do the Sunday sessions, say there's 6 wide receivers and only 1 defensive back. Now this defensive back has to take all these reps against the wide receiver. So you're constantly sharpening the iron. You're constantly just going at it. And that was one of the things that I learned in my life, that when you do put the work in, this is the results you're going to get. That's how I made the team. I wasn't drafted. I made the team by a lot of hard work. And when I got my chance to audition, I passed the test because I was prepared for the test. And anything you do in life, anything you do, you got to prepare before you walk in there and just try to, shoot it from the cuff. You literally have to prepare for anything, a test, training, a camp, any of those things. And that's where my preparation was at an all-time high to get myself ready. So now with Sunday sessions, summer training, that's what I do, is I get people prepared to go and be a walk-on on a team, to make a team. So I kind of know what it takes because I went through it myself.
What would you tell a person that's a walk-on?
What would I tell a person that's a walk-on, which is one of the kids out of my RSF camp, is Caleb Womack, walked on at San Jose State. He first year tore his ACL, and I was like, here we go. We have to work all over again. Rehabbed, he came back out here, right here at Scotts Valley. We worked, and he got back on to a situation where he could run and lift and do all those things. And he played special teams this year. Next year, he'll probably be the defensive back, a wide receiver, whatever he chooses to do. And he's one of those kids that I'm just very grateful that I got a chance to work with him in my program. His work ethic is amazing. And then I have other kids that, I've gotten out. Quinn Brown, he's at Brown University. This year, he led the league in touchdowns. And he's a kid that trained with me. I was able to make a phone call, get him where he needed to be. Cade Peterson, just got him a walk-on situation from SoCal at UC Davis. And can't wait to see what he develops in, what type of player he develops in there. But this is why I do it. At the end of the day, it's my experience that I'm giving to the kids. And if they listen, and they're going to get the best opportunity that they can get to go and compete for a roster spot. Sometimes I get them scholarships, help to get them scholarships, and sometimes it's a walk-on situation. It just depends on the flow of what's going on in the year. We had to battle through COVID, and that's how I had to battle for Quinn Brown to get him out. It was all through COVID. Same as Caleb Womack, same thing. So I would say, one of the things that's helping me is learning my sports management master's degree. Right now I'm in school at Utah State. And I'm learning so much more about Title IX. I'm learning so much about facilities, NIL, collectives, all those different things. And I'm being able to apply that to the Reggie Stevens Foundation to help more student athletes navigate the change in sports right now, which is very happening in real time right now. And we must stay on top of things, so give these kids the best opportunity to be successful.
Okay. And I know you went to the NFL, and how did that make you feel?
Going to the NFL was just a reflection on my life, because when I moved to Santa Cruz, it was one of those things that, you know, what am I going to do with my life? And I became a big fan of Marshall Faulk. And remember, he was like on Sports Illustrated, and I read all this stuff about him. Never had a drink, just how dedicated he was to football. And that's kind of like what drove me to saying, hey, I want to play in the NFL. I didn't even think about the college I wanted to go to or the junior college I wanted to go to, but it was a mission of mine to reach the NFL, and I reached it. And you know, I look back on it and I was just like, well, it's all the hard work, dedication, and that helped me create the Reggie Stevens Foundation as well.
Okay. What do you think your biggest accomplishment in the NFL was?
My biggest accomplishment in the NFL, first of all, I have several. The first one I would say was making the team. So in the NFL, they bring in a roster of probably 90 players, and they cut the roster down to 53. And to make it through that is tough. You got to hopefully not get injured. Hopefully no bad luck happens. And I was able to make it. And then I would say the second thing was, you know, picking off Troy Aikman, someone I grew up watching because I was a Dallas Cowboys fan living in Louisiana. And then when I moved to Santa Cruz, I kind of stayed a Cowboys fan for a little bit, even though everybody here liked the 49ers. But that was, and then my mom was a big Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin fan. And to be able to pick off Troy Aikman, it was pretty much, it was unreal. And still to this day, you know, it's one of, you know, the highlights of my life of playing football, professional football.
Can you go back to that time when you intercepted Troy Aikman and give me a play-by-play?
Yes, that was, man, that was the year 2000, our road to the Super Bowl. We were playing at Giants Stadium, sold out crowd. It's the Dallas Cowboys, kind of like a rivalry. And I remember Jason Sehorn got hurt. He was a starting corner, and I played nickel. Jason Sehorn gets hurt, then I go in the game. I remember the first time they came right after me. It was Rocket Ishmael. We were playing cover 2. I get my hands on him a little too early. They called a penalty on me. I'm nervous. I'm super nervous. Second play, they go after me again, and they run. We're like sitting in like cover 2, I think, and I'm playing like deep to short.
Each team has one timeout remaining. Aikman gets good protection, going for Hodge, and it is picked off by Reggie Stevens in the end zone.
And the play gets extended because of the coverage that I was playing. The guy ran a double route on me, and I was beat bad. I ran to the inside hip because I felt like that's where the ball would be thrown. And the next thing you know, I look up and the ball is there, and I'm like, okay, is this really happening? And I just got my hands up as high as I could get them, jumped up as high as I could jump, and picked the ball off. And next thing you know, I fell on the guy. It was Hodges. I don't know his first name, but I think he was number 16. I fell on him, rolled off of him, and all I could hear was the crowd just going, like that. And I'm like, okay, man, I just picked off Troy Aikman. I can't wait to share this with my mom, because my mom is a Troy Aikman fan. As I'm running off the field, everybody's coming, high-fiving me and whatnot. And, you know, I always looked up to Michael Strahan on the team. There's 2 people on the team that I was just like, no, I would say 3. Sam Garnes, Jesse Armstead, and Michael Strahan. And for those veteran football players that I'm playing on the team with at the Giants at the time, you know, that made me feel good as a player that I could contribute off the bench and help us get this win. And by the way, Troy Aikman threw 5 interceptions that day, and we still won the game 14-10. So that was like what that moment was like. Picking off Troy Aikman was like to this day. And now I watch him on TV because he's a sports commentator on Monday Night Football, and it's just still one of those things that's always going to live with me. You know, one of the biggest accomplishments, picking off Troy Aikman, making the football team, and then also reaching the Super Bowl, you know, when we played in the Super Bowl that year against the Baltimore Ravens.
We'll be back for part 2 of my interview with Reggie, where he talks about using football to help him pursue his other passion and where he thinks flag football's future is heading, right after this word from Starter. I understand that you used football to get into the music industry. Can you tell me about that process? I understand that you used football to get into the music industry. Can you tell me about that process?
Yeah, that process. So when I grew up, growing up, I was basically in a household of musicians and people that like to dance and music. My aunties, my uncles in Louisiana. It was a thing that we all had to do when all the cousins came down on the weekend and we sat around, in the living room. She made us dance or perform or something like that. So that's where my music background came from. And I kept that music background all the way to Santa Cruz High School. Came here with my first little demo tape, had the little headphones with the Walkman when I first moved here. And music just was a part of my journey, and it also kept me, from getting in trouble or anything like that. So I had these things that, I would go to the studio or write music. So yes, and then when I got to Nashville, actually when I got done playing the NFL, I had a demo and I sent it to this guy, David Huff, in Nashville. And later on, I got a record deal. And it was just basically never giving up. Same thing as football. I had football and I had music. They were both running parallel, and I never gave up on either one of them. And I got my first record deal, I want to say in 2006. So, and I'm still doing music to this day. It's a part of my foundation and the arts part of it. Music is just one of those outlets. I don't do it as a hobby. I actually do it for real. And I'm also a voting Grammy member. So it's just another thing to keep my life balanced, is having sports and music, which is pretty much the arts.
So you were in the NFL. You're a part of the music industry. What motivated you to start the Reggie Stevens Foundation?
What motivated me to start the Reggie Stevens Foundation is when I moved back to Santa Cruz. I went to Santa Cruz High School to get a job. That didn't work out. And then I ended up at Scotts Valley, and I've been here 14 years. Got to be in the Hall of Fame. So I put a lot of work into coaching. There was Christy Netto, good friend of mine. She's also in my nonprofit. One day she said, hey, won't you start a nonprofit? Because we were doing the All-Star Game. So it all started with All-Star Games, Central Coast Basketball All-Star Game that hosted by RSF. And that led me to creating a nonprofit. And then from there, I reached out to Stan White to start the basketball program, the RSF basketball program. He's my director of basketball. And that led into us having 40 kids in the program. Now today we're at probably over 300 kids with different programs. We have 7-on-7 football. Paul Quillisi is the director of that. Then you have the Sunday sessions. I'm the director of that. And now we have the RSF Central Coast All-Star Flag Football Game. And the director of that is Joe Domhoff, along with myself. So to me, the Reggie Stevens Foundation, it all started with an All-Star Game. It all started with that 8th grade All-Star Game. When I started that, it was 6 kids I was training, and then that led into me doing the All-Star Game, and then the All-Star Game led into me creating the foundation.
And where do you see girls flag football in the future?
I think the future's already here because we're doing the first ever All-Star Game on the Central Coast, RSF, GP, F. I mean, we're doing it. I see girls flag football in the future in college, knowing that we have the Olympics coming and it's going to be in there. So I see big things for it because I see the numbers right now. How many numbers of girls that come out for flag football is amazing to me. And when you go watch the games, you can see how much fun they're having playing the sport. So I just think it's going to be in college. I think, eventually there'll be scholarships. It'll be just like any football game for like the boys having. Another note on that is just when you look at the NFL, when they do their Pro Bowl, now it's flag football. It's not them out there hidden with pads and whatnot. So I just think the game is going to grow and grow. I'm very excited to see where flag football ends up for girls, and then also the women as well. So very excited about it.
How much did you know about girls flag football before the Sunday sessions?
I didn't know too much about girls flag football because I had really never seen it. I mean, you see it on Instagram or things like that. But me coaching up at Scotts Valley, I would see the girls in passing because they were practicing. So, and I was coming off the football field with the boys. And then it was this girl, Lolly, you know, she wanted to start working out with the boys on my Sunday sessions.
I got Lolly here. She ain't afraid to be out here with you boys.
Good footwork, Lolly. One. Good footwork, Lolly. Copy that.
So I brought her in, and the next thing you know, Joe Domhoff brought some girls from Aptos, along with yourself, Ellie, which kind of like spearheaded me working with girls on Sunday to try to teach them things of, you know, prevent injury, things of that nature.
And Coach Reg helps you out?
Oh yeah, I love it.
He's a good coach?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice, Brooklyn. Oh, yeah.
I like seeing some of my friends here that I don't get to see outside of flag and just getting better every week. Next we'll do Inky starting on the right.
Yeah, Ben. Great job, Ben. Way to lead us.
RSF on 3, 1, 2, 3, RSF!
And once again, it went back to like when I started the 8th grade All-Star game. Here it is, working with some boys, and now I'm working with some girls, female athletes in flag football that kind of spearheaded me to open up a flag football All-Star game, which I'm very, very excited about doing because I feel like the young female athletes need their own platform, and I'm so excited about this game, so excited about it being on television, so excited about to see them in the uniforms, and just the excitement of overall bringing it to Santa Cruz County. So I'm excited about it. So I know that was a long answer, but there's so much joy inside of me for having this game be ready to be played.
Yeah, Joel, we are lucky to have him as a strong leader in our community. He's excited, and I think we all are.